Hello, this is the Twiddle Diddle Man here, and right now we will be going over some techniques on Re-Topoing. This is a sculpt that I made in Sculptries, free open source program. It is amazing, and this is a decimated version of that sculpt because my computer cannot handle it. I sculpted this. It is my own design. Well, it's kind of inspired off of a millipede, centipede, whatever, but you get the idea. It has separated into module pieces so I can make the legs separately, and this is done for animation purposes. But we don't need it, so goodbye. I've already started Re-Topoing, and I'm going to show you what I've done. Select it, tab edit mode. I'm assuming that most of you have already gone over some tutorials, and so you know a little bit about, modeling in general. If not, I can probably make a video on modeling real soon. And sculpting eventually, because I love sculpting. This guy will be in a video game that I'm actually making with some other students at TSSC. They are programmers, and I don't have to do any programming. We will be using their engine that they built, so Unity will not be used except to test out my own model to see if I made any mistakes. Alright, so let's see what am I doing? How is this all working? Well, what I'm doing is I used a square and I mirrored it over. I know it's all broken up into different faces, but I always start with a square just because how the mirror modifier works in this thing. I turn the magnet tool on and I snap everything to faces. This makes it so that every face, every vertex, every edge that you will ever make will be automatically snapped onto your object. Now there will be times where I don't want this to happen, so I can take it off and mess with vertices. But for the most part, I kind of want it on, except for maybe right here. Hello. Center. There you go. And for Re-Topoing, what you'll generally want to do is just make a silhouette of your model. It's not an exact copy. The reason for making Re-Topo in the first place is because your high poly was just way too much for game engines to even handle. Unless your game is just like this ginormous ass bug floating in space and you need like 2 Xboxes to hold it or something. I don't know. It was a huge sculpt, so I have to Re-Topo. And Re-Topo stands for retopology. Standard thing for most any modeling. God, this thing's in the way. Edge flow counts a lot, except for in places where you're not gonna have any animations whatsoever. In that case, you can be a little lax. But for the most part, you are trying to capture a silhouette, so you do want to make sure you have at least some form. And try to keep everything, kind of squared up. You want, in this case, being a square is okay. I know I'm not 30 fucking years old. I'm 20. 21. I just decided to make that stupid ass joke. Oh, and another good way to select, faces, edge, blah blah blah. Which one of these you want to use? Use Control Tab, and you have this little mesh selection here. Let's do with edge. Select, and F to fill. A friend of mine showed me that. I didn't learn that in class. Good idea to start doing this early if you think this is what you want to do for the rest of your life. I didn't have internet where I lived at. I know you're thinking, how can you not have internet in today's day and age? Somehow my dad managed it, so there was no way for me to really be exposed to all this. I don't really age. Kind of wish I was. And my teacher tried to help me, but she didn't know the program either, so whatever. I'm here now. Triangles are okay as long as you're not animating in that particular area, and I'm only animating this muscle, and I do not think that I will need to square everything off right there. Yeah, we're good. This is a shell, so it will not be animating, it will not be moving, so it's okay. And one thing to keep in mind is that you don't need your mesh completely enclosing your model because it is just silhouette. It's okay if things kind of poke out, but if they are too far away, you will run into some problems. So just keep that in mind. So yeah, this will probably end up being a very, very long type of tutorial-ish thing, just because of how big this guy is. And this will probably take over a lot of videos in general. So this will be my first series, which is also my first video. How fun for me. Hate it, like it, love it, your choice, guys. It is always a good idea to try to keep everything kind of evened out. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm not sure how many more of these I'll need. So let's just stop right there. And it is perfectly okay to go back and delete things. I've had to do that several times. And it's not as even professionals do it, let's just put it that way. So it's okay. And it only makes you better. Because if you can see any flaws, any mistakes whatsoever, you're good. Once again, I am assuming that you guys already know something about modeling. So I'm not going to go too in depth on, what buttons I'm pushing, what exactly I'm doing, because you should know exactly what you're doing. There's that lip thing right there that I need. So I will probably need to do this. It's gonna be weird. I think I can make it work. Thing to know when it comes to 3D modeling. There are a lot of right ways to do things, as well as a lot of wrong ways. So if any of you are looking at this and this isn't the way you model it, and you see some issues that you think are issues, they're not issues, unless I say so. Don't worry about it. I know, I say that because I've done that myself. Oh boy. Oh, this will be fun. I need to keep these polygons over here. Now, I didn't really... You know what? No, it's okay, we can do that. I'm overthinking things. I'm thinking like a sculptor now instead of a straight out polygon mesh modeler. We can go ahead and we're going to be using normal maps anyway, so it should be okay to do this. The way normal maps work is whenever light hits your mesh, it will add, depth and detail to your model, which is amazing. A lot of games use them nowadays because they are so useful. And I don't think I closed this off. Yes, I did. One thing that we definitely have to keep in mind is whenever we reach joints that will be moving, we definitely need to keep our edge flows, rather consistent with animation purposes. So anything that I'm kind of like jumbling up, meshing up, whatever, we definitely need to not do whenever it comes to like joints over here, things that will be moving. And I'll show you some techniques that I use that work, that I do. A lot of the techniques that I use are kind of based off of what I've learned, but I use because they work. So I guess you can call them my own personal techniques, which isn't really saying all that much because I think a lot of modelers over time develop their own style. So it just works. And if I can't do something on my own using techniques that I kind of use on a daily basis, it's definitely a good idea to look them up. Especially when it comes to this. This is unprecedented. This is weird. I may have to go back and do this. Oh god, yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have to add more polygons and shit, I think. No, maybe not. Maybe just move this down. And turn this magnet off. There we go. I think that might work just fine. But I think we still might have to add more because if you've noticed, it's kind of all slanting down in weird angles. That's okay. It doesn't really matter all that much. There's a lot there to form that. And that stupid claw's in the way, so it makes it kind of hard to see. So let's go ahead and nope. Extrude that. Bring that over here. And I'm thinking I want to add a try. There you go. I fix. Slide this down a bit. There. Do I have a... Yeah, I do. Another cool trick is press G, Z, you can move it up and down. I like that. It's a good nifty little trick. I don't always use it, but sometimes I do. Fill that in. And yeah, I think that would be good. Let's check this shit out. Smooth it out, see if we have any errors, and we do not. Looks like a dog skull, actually. It's kind of funny. And that will conclude making the head for right now. My name is Twiddle-Diddle-Man, and we will continue this series later, in just a few minutes, actually. Have a good day.